What's happening, everybody? Hello. I got an invisible. It's magic. Is he a wizard? What sort of magic is this? Well, I tell you what sort of magic this is. This is the magic of the interwebs and green screen. Because, that's what I'm dealing with today. I got some green screen. I'm going to do a podcast today, so I'm going to be making some notes while I'm chatting with you guys. Folks show up and say, "What's up?" Like Jaden and Emma, how are you? How are you? How are yous? Let's see. I did that one. I haven't done that one yet. I got so many ideas for these things, but I figured today it's we're going to talk about happy. Happy, happy, happy. I think I've talked about this before, maybe, but there's always new stuff coming out. So there's always new ideas going in this brain of mine. So I'm gonna put this one up here. Call it happy, happy, happy. Are you? I may change that title. You guys know how I go. I'll deal with something in titles. But it's funny because I have to have something on the second, at least the second one. I should call it "How to Be Happy All the Time," which we're not. We're never happy all the time. So we're gonna deal with that. Ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, boom. Working it. I'm working it while you're coming in. Hello, Ashley. What's up? Da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Big one there. There we go. On this one here. Perfect. So it is once again a gorgeous freaking day here in Australia. This is the Golden Coast. Yes, I took that picture right behind us. That's the beach we will be walking on in about 4 or 5 hours. We will be out there having a family walk. Me and Kimberly and little Declan and now Mr. Colton, who's inside my wifey's belly. He's going to be coming out and saying hi in 2 months. Holy Mosley. That's crazy. Crazy. So, anyway, we're going to be talking about that happiness thing. Happy, happy, happy. La, 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 la. Boom. I've definitely talked about this one here. This note that I just put down here. And time for a little bit of that invisible bottle. Invisible. Man. Okay. That's cool. So, so we give it another about 10 minutes and then I'll start the actual podcast. I'm ramping up. I got to get a bunch of these podcasts done. And then I've still got interviews that are going to be coming up, but I got away from, I was just doing interviews. So I'm like, you know what? I've got stuff I need to talk about to get these things out. So happy. We're going to be talking about it. Let's see. What are some other notes? I usually I'll do notes while I'm talking to you because, that's how I roll. So Brian Blackburn. Happy, who's that happy? What now? Who did who to the what now? It's one of my favorite Simpsons quotes. What? Who did who to the what now? Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope you are happy, wherever you are, whatever you are doing. I'm happy. I am here in the Gold Coast of Australia, as most of you already know. Still here, still hanging. Just heard. Hold on a second. Let's get some. Come on now. Zoom. It's looking a little funky there. I don't know why. Let's get that fixed. Is it just my eyeballs or do I look a little blurry? I'm trying to figure that out. Sometimes you got to get it to focus on something close. There we go. Focus. You're not focusing. Is it focus, damn it? Here, I'm going to change that. See if I can. I'll switch the cam to. And then I'll switch the cam back to. Huh? Better? Maybe? I don't know. All right. Well, either way, that's what we're going with. Shout who in the what know. What else can I tell you? Oh, cool stuff. So, um, I have been. If I don't know if you've watched Spartacus. I started watching Spartacus like 10 years ago, 8 years ago, something like that. And I had something happen. I don't know even know what the schedule like is on Spartacus. They're on like fifth season or something, but I stopped watching years ago. And then I just started watching again a few weeks ago. I'm getting caught up with like the last two seasons, and I always love it. I mean, if you want to see a whole bunch of naked people, a lot of boning, a lot of penis, I'll tell you that. Yeah, lots of blood and nastiness and fighting, and it's brutal. It is freaking brutal. But that's the show to watch. But I just found out that at Supernova in a couple weeks, they're going to have a couple of the guys from the show there. And I was like, oh, awesome. I've been watching this show. And so actually, Spartacus will be there, that guy. And I'm like, cool. And if you don't know, I mean, originally the Spartacus, it's a great show. It really is. I mean, they have an interesting way of speaking, and the action is good, and I like it. Um, but it's kind of like it's like 300. You remember the movie 300? It's kind of like that meets Rome, the series, meets Cinemax and some, you know, light porn kind of thing. So it's a little out there. But anyway, it's a fun watch. But the guy who originally played Spartacus died many years ago after like the first season or two, and so then he had the other Spartacus step in. He's been great. He's phenomenal. So yeah, if I get to hang out with him, get to meet him, and who knows, make lifelong friends. But at the least, I'll be able to say, "I like your work," and he'll say, "And you are," and I'll go, "I'm also a guest. Don't call security." The usual. So, yeah, things are going great out here. We are getting a lot of stuff in the mail. Got another baby thing. Things are starting to come in. I'm like, what is this, honey? Why is this here? Because I don't even know what she's put. I'm completely out of it this round. Like the first time when we had Declan, oh man, we just overdid everything. It's like, oh, we need this, we need that, we need more of this, we need that. So that's kind of crazy. Oh, you know what? I don't have as much battery as I thought I would have. Oh, I may have to cut this one short. I could probably get 30 minutes out of this. All right. Well, I may cut it short. If it, if it goes to red, I'll be like, okay, that's it. Be happy. Bye. In the immortal words of Bobby McFerrin, don't worry. Be happy. And drink out of invisible bottles. Freaky. I love it. So, woosah. Woosah. I've been writing down my ideas. There's a great book I'm reading right now called Skip the Line by James Altucher. If you don't know who James Altucher is, very interesting guy, hell of a writer, hell of a investigative businesspreneur. I don't even know how you would explain him. I kind of put him in the realm of Tim Ferriss as well. Who they just go try things. Like I want to learn to shoot arrows off the back of a horse, Japanese style. Okay, go learn that. I want to win a tango competition in Buenos Aires. Okay, go do that. That kind of stuff. And so he's got a great book on how to use your ideas and really, put them out there. So the concept is, in a nutshell here, is write down 10 ideas a day. It doesn't matter what they are, good, bad, ugly, just write everything, anything pops in your mind. And Kim and I were brainstorming a little this morning, and I came up with some other ideas. I'm like, holy crap, some of these ideas are, $1 million ideas. But then it's like, then what do you do with them? It's like, I've got an idea for this product. I've got an idea for this product. I've got an idea. Oh, there's another product I totally forgot about. Let's see. That one. Perfect. Okay. See, I write it down as I go. Stream of consciousness. If you don't have a phone or a pad next to your bed, you need to do that. I mean, I don't recommend having the phone next to the bed because all night long you got the internet and 5G and all that junk going back and forth, back and forth. You don't need to turn all that shit off at night, but have something you can always have the phone there with the internet off, and then you can always put a note there when you roll over and you go, I'll remember this. And you put it in there because you won't remember that. Trust me on this. You won't remember that. All right. So we're going to get started here in just a second. We're going to talk about happiness, and I'm going to give you guys some ideas, some tips to make yourself happy. And believe me, I know how to be unhappy. I've been there. Jaden, it's almost summer. It's almost winter where I am. So we're going into the cold, which means it's incredibly freaking hot still. Today it's hot. But the cool thing about the winter, it's very similar to California, only it doesn't quite get as cold as California. But you'll have some cool nights. Now we can like sometimes open the windows at night and just let the breeze come through. Still a little humid for that. So you open the breeze, you have a little breeze coming in, but it's so humid and you lie down on the pillow and you're like, I'm damp. Ooh, I don't like that. So there you go. All right, folks. So you know the drill. When I start to record, I cannot talk to you. So let me put the Mind Scrambler podcast right here. Recording my podcast right now. Can talk after. Cafetier. Wow, I just misspelled every single word. Did it again. There we go. Recording. There's no N in my jow now. There we go. Can talk after. And here is the podcast. There you go. There we go. Popped it in the chat there. All right, so now you guys can see that. Let's get started. Let's get a podcast in the bag. So put the podcast in the can or whatever you want to say. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hi there. This is the Mind Scrambler podcast. And I'm not going to talk like this the whole time. Although I could. I mean, that's just not the way I actually talk. I am so glad that you are listening to my podcast right now. Today is a very important podcast that most people don't pay enough attention to, and that is we're going to talk all about happiness. Happy, happy, happy. Are you? Are you happy? And it's interesting, when you ask that question to most people, they'll kind of go, I'm doing all right. Fair to middling. I'm making it through, et cetera, et cetera. So the real way to tell if somebody's happy is when you ask them, how you doing? And that's what they'll give you, the things I just said. They go, yeah, I'm making it. I'm all right. And everyone, it seems, if you ask 10 people that, I'll bet you get 8 or 9 people who will give you a response that is, wow, that is way less than exciting, way less than happy. There's a way to help yourself in that situation as well. I'm going to be going through all of these, a lot of things. But right now, if you think about it, when somebody asks you, how are you doing? How do you answer? Let me ask you, hey, how you doing today? What's the first thing that popped into your head? What's the first thing? And it's interesting because people don't think about it. They don't think about what they say in response to that question. How are you doing? Guess what? Your subconscious mind is paying attention. So if somebody says, hey, how you doing? You're like, I'm surviving. Well, your subconscious mind says, yes, sir. We're just surviving. And you say that how many times a day? Especially if you're working at some place where they say, hey, how you doing today? I'm surviving. Like that's a good thing. That is not a good thing. Whatever you say in response to that is quite interesting, because when I ask you, "Hey, how you doing?" What pops immediately into your mind? Ask yourself, what was it? What did you just think when I said, "Hey, how are you doing?" This sets the tone for your day. This sets the tone for every day, and you've probably had that response for years. Think about it. And wow, it was a revelation to me when one of my coaches, he was Tony Robbins' vice president for like 20 years. He said, "You know what? When you get asked a question like that, you respond with extraordinary." And I put that's what he did. He didn't tell me to do that, but I picked it up. I was like, "Hell yes. Hey, Spike, how you doing?" "I'm extraordinary. How you doing?" People are like, "Wow, that's quite a response." And it's not just because I'm saying a word that response gets that response. It's because I believe it. I am doing extraordinary. Are there things that I want in my life that I do not have at this moment? Of course. Will there always be things in my life that I want at that moment that I do not have? Of course. Until I am Spike Spencer, the all being. I'm going to want shit. But until that time, I'm going to be happy in the fact that I am here. I am breathing. The mere fact that you are on this planet is a freaking miracle, dudes. Look, I think the number's like 4.2 trillion to 1 odds that you are even born. So, damn, you're breathing, you're living. You have actual life inside of you, which is a miracle. If you really break it down, because we're always thinking we're mired down in whatever you're doing in the day, forget that. Look, we're on a little blue ball in an infinite space with billions and trillions of other blue balls, many of which, I'm sorry, probably have life. Most of which probably have life. Well, maybe not most of which, but a ton have life. I'm going to go out there and say it, because anybody that has seen now the pictures from the Hubble telescope, it's like, yeah, see all those dots? Yeah, all of those are universes. Wait, what? All of those are universes. And in all of those universes, swirling around a sun, you think maybe there might be some similar situation? Great. So think about the amazing miracle that is the fact that you are alive here on this planet. Now, also, something you may not have thought about is the amazing power that you have with your life force that so many people do not understand. And most people do not work with, try to learn, try to hone, try to develop any of the powers that you have. I know people that do amazing things that you would think, wow, that's freaking magic. I'm like, well, it's also a skill. It's a skill. You learned how to walk. Remember, there was a time you couldn't walk. You learned how to talk. There was a time you couldn't talk. You learned how to drive a car. There was a time you were afraid of a car. Like, holy crap, I'm going to get in and I'm going to pilot that 2 to 5 ton, whatever it is. And I'm going to get in there and not even think about it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get so good at that I'm going to forget how I even got home some days because I'm on autopilot. That's pretty damned amazing right there. Look around your life with a little more wonder, and you will have to be happy. You have to, because that is, by the way, your default switch. When you are born, your default switch is happy. Look at a kid. Look at a baby. I've had one recently and going to have another one soon. They're happy. They're only scared of 2 things: falling and loud noises. The rest is, holy shit, what is all this stuff? Wow. And then they fart, of course, which is an incredibly funny moment. Seriously, baby farts are hysterical. Now, so you start off from that realm. Now, what happens from there? You start learning, and other people start putting their limiting beliefs into you, mainly your parents. They don't do it out of spite or anger or anything. They're doing the best they possibly can with the tools that they have at the time. But the happiness is sort of not literally, but beaten out of us. It sort of goes away after a time, and we have issues and problems. And we don't have tools to deal with that when we're young, unless we're taught those tools, which I'm working with right now. I'm teaching you some tools, some ways of thinking to scramble up your mind, to think about happiness, to think about where you are right now and how much power you have over how you feel. So let me give you a couple of pointers here that will help you. If you are feeling unhappy about something, obviously, if it's something bad that has happened, honor the feeling. If you were sad, if somebody passed away, you don't go, ha ha ha, what a great thing. No, obviously, feel the pain, feel the sadness. Let the feelings flow through you. Let it do what it does naturally. If you feel bad, feel bad. But there's a certain point where this feeling bad becomes a choice. And you have to decide, okay, you know what? I'm done with that. Like, for example, some of you know my story. I had a 15 years ago, whatever, a horrible divorce, bankruptcy, lost everything. And everybody I knew and loved started over, yada, yada, yada. I was at the absolute lowest point I could possibly freaking be, but I was still alive. And it took me a couple of years to be like, okay, we got to get through this. And I made a decision that I'm going to figure it out. And I worked daily to figure out how to turn everything around. And I got to the point where I turned it around. I was like, damn, this is pretty cool. I know what I'm doing. Started dating a whole lot of women and had a wonderful time traveling the world. And just, I mean, wow, what a great thing. It was a decision. You have to make that decision to be happy. So if there's something that you're feeling bad about, something that's actually warranted, then feel that feeling, honor that feeling. But it does have to play out its course. And once that does, you decide to be happy. And some things that will help you to be happy is your state. If your state is physically, if you look at somebody in a physical position and go, wow, they don't look happy. Well, that's because they're in a physical state and they're not happy. And their physicality shows that. So if you want to be happy, one of the first things to do is make your body into a situation that can be happy. If you're scrunched up and you're, oh, I'm all, that is a very sad fear, anger, all of that pent up rage. Open your body up. Open your body up. Pull your shoulders back. Take a nice deep breath. Let it out. Lift your head up. And here's something interesting. It's very difficult to be sad if you're smiling. It is. When you think about something funny, it changes. It doesn't matter how bad things are. Sometimes somebody will make you laugh. And you're like, that just, and it shifts the entire energy in your body. And it may be the catalyst, that one little state change that can put you on the right path. So the physicality of being open and up and moving and breathing allows more happiness in, literally. Then work on your mind. How do you become happy? Well, one of the quickest ways is cat videos on freaking YouTube. I don't know, make cats or whatever. I've always recommended somebody, hey, look, you need to laugh. You need to laugh. Find something that makes you laugh every day. One good laugh. And sometimes somebody will shoot a video and send it to me. And I'm like, I just can't help but laugh. I lose my shit. And I'm like, that was so funny. What was I thinking about before that? Doesn't matter. I was laughing my ass off right there. Okay. And that's important because when you laugh, you are releasing serotonin, dopamine, you're releasing the chemicals of happiness. And that is self-perpetuating. You can't overdose on happiness, guys. You can't. Natural happiness. I told that to somebody and they're like, they looked at all that. Yes, you can. You can overdose on serotonin. You can overdose on dopamine. You can overdose. I said, okay, so you were happy to death? I don't think so. You can't do it naturally. If you're happy, you're never going to go over that. So there you go. Your physical state, control that. Nobody else controls that but you. Understand that. That's another power you have. Isn't that cool? You have so much power over you and over your feelings. Then, after you've done your physicality, a really good way to work on the happiness is through gratitude. Now, what does gratitude mean? Gratitude means you're thankful for something. And I know when I was in that ball, angry, crying and screaming and all of that at God, damn you for putting me here, etc. It's difficult to think about gratitude. It's like, what would I have? I just lost everything. Well, a way to do that, a way to get that gratitude flowing into you is through the simple things. The gratitude for your fingers, your hands, your eyes, your nose. You can breathe. You're breathing right now. Without breath, you're dead. In what? Like a minute, 2 minutes, 3? Done. So you've got that. You've got the breath. Your heart's beating. Your blood is pumping. Everything is going good in your body. Even if you have some issues, okay, you can deal with those. But the thing is, you're here right now and you're listening to me. Be grateful for all that is you, all the little things that you don't think about. Your lungs go open and bring the air in and push the air out. That's your subconscious running the whole show. You don't have to think about that. Your nails grow, etc. Your eyes blink. There's so many things to be grateful for. If you sat, and I recommend this to anybody who's having an issue, take 1 minute, one silent minute, and just be grateful for have a meditation. It's a 1 minute meditation of saying, I am grateful for my arms. I am grateful for my feet. I'm grateful for my eyelids. I'm grateful for the fact that I can see, that I can breathe, that I can smell, that I can taste, that I can talk, that I can do whatever it is. Be grateful for what you have now. That's huge. Be grateful for what you have now. That will help you be happier. It takes a little work, guys. If you're in a really shitty mood, and I've been there for a long time, it takes some work. You go, okay, I feel terrible. I feel awful. My world has ended. What do I do? Well, I'm going to do a little work here. I'm going to get better. And so I would actively seek out things that make me happy, which brings me to the next one. Do things that make you happy. Says Captain Kirk. Go do things that make you happy. That's simple, right? What makes you happy? What really lights you up? Well, for me, it's like cooking or reading about food, learning about food, history, culture, and different recipes, or traveling the world, learning about different places, visiting those places, going out, taking a hike, the smell of freshly cut grass. Oh, some of you just felt that, didn't you? To me, that's just, oh, that's my childhood right there, man. Running through sprinklers. Hell, remember that? I mean, just having fun and doing something that you enjoy is a quick state change. See, I watched this from my 3-year-old, soon to be 4, and he will be throwing a super huge tantrum. I mean, he's just in the worst mood ever. Terrible, bad things. And then, oh, look, a balloon. Boop. And it's like, oh, now it's a balloon fight. Or play with it, go get the hat. It's like, oh, now we're going to chase each other with the hat, or it takes off all his clothes, naked boy, run around. It's like Calvin and Hobbes, It's amazing how they can switch states so quickly. You can too, but we lose that ability over time. It just gets a little harder for us to have that childlike ability to switch. And that's called changing state. As I said, your physicality matters. How are you sitting? I'll bet you're sitting right now, or you're laying down or whatever, and I bet your shoulders are forward and hunched. Why? Computers, phones. Look around. Everybody's got their neck down and the phone here and the shoulders kind of up like that. Well, that makes for unhappiness. So you got to pull them back. And I just had a master class with a physical therapist, and she said, this is a great thing. I'm going to give this to you guys for free. If you're sitting at the computer for very long and you're starting to feel that the hunch come on, so you take your 2 shoulders and bring them up like that, and your arms, you're going to turn them out to your sides, just palms out. So the palms are facing the same way your face is, and then drop your shoulders and let them come back. and think of your two shoulder blades going into the back pockets, into the opposite back pockets. So it's like up, they're going back and down. My palms are out, and just sit there. Just let it sit and take a couple breaths. It feels so much better. I do it all the time, and it's a great way to open up your shoulders, which opens up, by the way, opens up your heart chakra. Huh? Didn't think I was going to go there, did ya? But that's another thing to learn about, chakras and energy and vibrations and all of that. It's fun to learn. I'm learning a lot. And science is backing us up on all these things. Your energy is, by the way, contagious. If you do something for somebody and they light up, their emotions, their chemicals, like I said, the serotonin, dopamine, etc., they light up. Well, when you do something good for somebody else, yours light up too. The same chemicals, etc., light up. And if somebody witnesses you doing a nice thing for somebody, theirs also light up. Doing kind things that bring happiness to other people brings happiness to you as well, and others who witness. It really is a cycle, guys. Same thing with your negativity. If you're angry and negative, people feel that. You know the energy I'm talking about. When I find people that say like, "Oh, this is woo-woo energy, frequency, vibration nonsense," I go, "Really? When was the last time you went into a room and somebody gave you the heebie-jeebies?" You're like, "Something ain't right." You just feel it. It's a feeling. You're like, "I don't want to be in here. Something feels weird." Well, that is your antenna. That is your mechanism for sensing these things. That is frequency, energy, vibration. Get it? It's like the hair on the back of your neck stands up, and you're like, I don't want to be here right now. And I don't know why exactly, but I'm going to go with my gut and get out. That's your subconscious connecting. It knows. It knows. We're animals. We have those senses. And yet some people deny that. It's silly. So the fact that your feeling and your frequency, your happiness, can bring happiness to others, it's simple. It's evolution. So work on being happy as much as you can. And that way, you can bring happiness to others. And it makes the whole world spin around. And it's fabulous. Now, a couple other things that'll help you. Celebrate your wins, your small wins. All right. We all have goals. And when we get to those goals, we're going to celebrate. We made it. Let's go get margaritas. We made that big sale. All right. I'm buying a jet ski, whatever it is. That's awesome. But what if that takes 6 months? And you got 6 months of trotting and working your butt off and doing all this stuff. And that makes you sad or angry or anxious or tense or whatever, frustrated, whatever it is. You're going through it all the way until that win. Well, why can't you celebrate the small wins? Every day, there's something small that can help you, and you can celebrate that. I try to do like, what did I learn today? I learned how to do something different. I learned how, there's a new setting on this light that I can hit and change the color or something along that line. Or, I had a neat idea today and I wrote that down. That's a win. Yay. Woohoo. Cool. One of the things that Tony Robbins teaches, it's like when you feel something and you need to get in that state of, yes, I'm excited. You go outside and you scream something. Yeah, I got it. Eureka, whatever it is you want to scream. And it really gets that the blood pumping and everything. It changes the state. And I just find that interesting because, you'll freak people out, of course, which is fine. But you can do it in your own house. Nobody's going to see you do this. Nobody's going to see you think, I am happy. I am happy now. That sort of thing. And it's interesting because I was talking with my son today at breakfast, and he was like, I'm happy, but his face was all scrunched up. And I said, well, if you want to be happy, looking happy really helps. I said, you know what helps? He's like, what? He said, a smile. And he goes, and he looked at me and he's like, yeah. And he go, and you can say, I'm happy. And he goes, I'm happy. Like, that's beautiful. Children will do this. When do we stop? When do we stop doing that? When do we stop owning that happiness? When do we stop being happy? I've had my trials and tribulations with being happy. And I've learned it's like, look, you know what? We're going to have crap come at us all the time. That's what life is. But the crap, if you look at it from a standpoint of it's terrible and it's jumping on me and piling on me, blah, 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 woe is me. Yeah, it's going to get you and make you sad. However, if you look at it and go, okay, here's a challenge. How do I solve this? How do I turn this to my advantage? How do I overcome this thing so I can feel, yeah, that happiness? It's all in your perspective. How do you look at things? Wayne Dyer said, when we look at things, how did he say it? I love it. He said, when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. Let that roll around the cranium for a second. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. That's a pretty amazing concept. So change the way you look at some of these struggles, these problems, the thing you see as negative, and that can turn it to a positive for you. All right, I'm going to have to go quick here. I've only got another minute or two. Two other things real fast. One, you've got to remove envy. You cannot be envious of others. You cannot envy others' happiness and want happiness for yourself. What you criticize goes away from you. What you condemn runs away from you. So what you do is you see somebody having what you want, the happy family or the happy day. Don't be pissed at them. Don't be angry and bring them down because you're feeling blah. Go, you know what? I wish for more for that person. Congratulations for all that awesomeness. Why? Because you can have it too. Yes, you can. If you're shaking your head no right now. Hey, look at this. Yes, you can. Of course you can. Millions of people have before you, and millions of people will after you. You can have it too. Which brings me to the last point, which is you are worthy of happiness. No matter what you've done, no matter who you are, no matter what your situation is right now, you're worthy of happiness. There may be some work involved to get there, but you're worthy of it. Figure it out. You have that power. Remember what I said before? You're a miracle. You're a freaking miracle that you're even here. You have so much energy, so much power. You tap into that. You got to be happy. Once you really get that concept, you're like, holy crap, you got to be happy. Because then now it's just, okay, how do I do it? How am I going to make it happen? I'm becoming that person who is now happy. So the ideas and the concepts and everything that will make it better are going to come to you now because your energy is changing from dark to light, from anger and sadness and fear and frustration to happiness. You're now open. And when the universe gets that, when that energy starts to flow, when you're open, it will come to you now. Because when you're like this, it's like bouncing off of you. Now open up and let the goodness come in. Let the sun shine in. And that's what I'm going to leave you guys with today. You want to be happy, make the decision and do the work. Be happy, change your state, smile, and move forward. I will wish you guys all the happiness and light and love and all the good stuff and every awesome YouTube video with kittens. Go check them out. I'll see you next time on the Mind Scrambler podcast. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. And that is the end of that. Woohoo! I'm glad you guys were here for that. I was able to make it through. My computer may turn off at any second, but that is done. So I'm very happy about that. Yeah, I've got all red here, so I'm going to be zonking out here in a second. So I hope that helps some of you guys. Do the things I said. Make yourself happy. You can be happy. You are designed that way. So go do it. Be happy. And I'll see you guys. Gosh, I don't know. Tuesday, Monday. Ooh, I'm not sure when I'm going to be back on. It'll be next week. There you go, Brian. Sing it. Always look on the bright side of life. Monty Python. Look it up. All right, guys. Have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend. My weekend is going to be up in the mountains, so I'm going to be like not here. Maybe. I may be. I don't know. We'll see. keep an eye out. And remember, the last Mind Scramble podcast with Orion Akaba is up and wonderful. And just started thinking about this during the podcast. I got my driver learner permit 3 tests, and that made me so happy. There you go, Emma. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Be like Emma. I'll talk to you guys later. Adios. Oh, hell yeah, Life of Brian. All right. Gotta go.